Hi and welcome to Candyfloss Crochet. Today I'm going to show you the tulip stitch. So this is an example of the tulip stitch where I've made up. As you can see, it's a bit like a corner to corner, but it works in rows. So let me just turn it around so you can see it from a different angle. Sorry, it's part of a bigger blanket, so it's a bit difficult to see, but you work it in rows as you go across. It's a very simple stitch to learn, and it only has one row or pattern repeat, so it's quite quick to learn, and once you've got into the flow of it, you can work up a pattern quite quickly. So I'm going to take you through that one today. So let's get started. What you'll need is any DK yarn. I am using this beautiful yarn from Demores, which is a studio anti-piling DK, and it is called Citrine. This one, it's very pretty, less fluffy than a lot of the other yarns that I've used. The recommended hook size for this one is a 4mm. So I've got my 4mm hook, but obviously adjust your hook size depending on the yarn that you're using. You'll need your scissors just to snip off your ends, and that's about it really. So with this pattern, to start off with, you will need to work up a chain in a multiples of 4 plus an extra 5 for turning. Okay, so it depends how big you want to make your actual piece of work, whether it's a blanket, but make sure whatever you do is in multiples of 4 and then add an extra 5 chains onto it. So I've gone ahead and done, just for a sample for you today, a chain of 24, and then I've added an extra 5, so 29 chains. So if you want to pause the video now and work up 29 chains, or however long you want to make it, and then we'll get started. Okay, so you should now have your chain of 29, or however long you're making your chain, but I've done 29 stitches, so 24 plus my 5. And what you need to do is put your first stitch, which is going to be a UK treble, into the 5th chain from the hook. So just to be clear, you never count this one on your hook. This is your first one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th chain. I'm going to go into this one here. Okay, so make sure you don't count that one on there. It's quite important, your stitch count, because when you get to the end, if you've got too many stitches, it won't pattern repeat very well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to work a UK treble. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. And then I want you to work another 2 trebles. So into that chain space, you're working 3 trebles in total. Just do another one with you. Yarn over, insert. So I'm going into exactly the same space. Yarn over, pull through 3 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2. And that's your first square, I suppose it comes out as. It's almost like a fan. You now need to skip 3. So make sure when you're skipping 3 that you count them correctly. You've worked this one because obviously you've got a nice big hole, but this one here is also a chain. So don't forget that one. Don't just jump straight to that one and count from there. This one here is a chain in its own. You don't really notice it until you loosen it up a bit. So you're skipping 3. So 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th one, I want you to work a double crochet. So that's insert your hook, that's UK double. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. In the US, a double crochet is a single crochet, just to be clear. Chain 3, 2, 3, and back into that same space, you're going to work 3 UK trebles. That's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. And the same as we did before, skip 3, 1, 2, 3. In the 4th one, you're doing a double crochet, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Chain 3 again. And we're back into that space, and we're going to do 3 UK trebles. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, skipping 3, 1, 2, 3, into the fourth one, double crochet and chain 3 again. 1, that's my 3, and 3 trebles into this one. So each time you double crochet, chain 3 and 3 trebles. So your chain 3 is counting as a treble in here, so you're effectively having 4 in this one stitch. Okay, skipping 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go into this one here with my double crochet. Now if you want to at this stage, if you want to pause the video and catch up, I'm going to keep going until the end, and then I can show you how we turn our work at the end. So I've just done my double, chain 3 and work 3 trebles into that space. I'm going to skip 3, 1, 2, 3, into my fourth one, double crochet, chain 3, 3 trebles. My last one. And now you should be left with 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if you haven't got to the end of your work, if you're doing a longer piece of work, pause the video here and work all the way up until you have 4 chains left. And then rejoin me at this point and I will show you how to finish off this row and how to turn for the next one. Okay, so you should now have got to the end of your work, and you should hopefully, if you've got your stitch count correct, have 4 chains left. So as before, we're going to skip 3. So 1, 2, 3, the last chain, I'm going to work a double crochet into that one. So I'm just anchoring down the fan that I did before. And that is row 1 done. So let me just pull that up and I can lay it out for you. So it's a bit twisted at the moment, but that is your row. It's like little mountain peaks. Okay, so if you're ready, we're going to move on to row 2, and from now on row 2 will be the row that you will just repeat all the way through. So this is going to be slightly different than you're used to. So chain 4, turn your work, which is the standard process when you're turning, and this time I want you to work 3 trebles but into the first chain. So normally you would go into the bottom of the chain stitch here. I don't want you to work into the bottom of the chain stitch. I want you to work into the first chain. It will make sense as we go along, but at the moment it seems a bit odd. Normally you would go there, but I want you to go into that first chain, and I want you to work 3 trebles into that first chain. So not the chain space, the very first chain. Once you've done 1 in there, then it's easier to work out where you're going. That's my 3rd one. And now you're going to skip the double crochet that you did. You're going to skip your 3 trebles. So that's your double crochet here. That's this one here. Then you've got your trebles, 1, 2, 3 trebles, and then you're back at the top of the peak where you have your chain space that you created in the previous round. So skip all the stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches you're skipping, and go straight to that chain space. You're going to do a double crochet into that chain space, chain 3, and then 3 trebles back into that chain space, and this is what you're going to do all the way across. Sorry, I'm going a little bit faster now, so I'm hoping you're catching up with me. Okay, so we're going to skip that double crochet, skip our trebles, find the chain space here, double crochet into that one, chain 3, 3 trebles into the same chain 3 space from the previous round. Skip the double crochet, skip the 3 trebles, find the chain space from the previous round, double crochet, chain 3, because you're going to need that one on the next round, and 3 trebles. Got a knot, 2 seconds. There we go. 1, 2, and 3. Skipping the double crochet, skipping the trebles, finding that chain 3 space, double crochet into that one, chain 3, 3 trebles. And you're going to repeat this all the way along until the end of your work. And then I'll show you, because I'm nearly there, so I'm going to keep going, but I'll show you what to do and how you turn for the next one. Skipping the double, skipping the 3 trebles, double crochet into the chain 3 space of the previous round, chain 3, 3 trebles. And now I'm on to my last one here. And on your last one, this was our chain 4 that we started with from the previous round. You're just going to do a double crochet into that one. And then you're going to chain 4 again, because this row is now finished. So I'll just quickly show you what it looks like now. So your work should look a bit like this. So it's like a little crown. It tends to curl a little bit, but once you've worked it up a bit bigger and you block it afterwards, it'll be absolutely fine. So for your next round, it's exactly the same as the round we just did. So you're chaining 4. You're going to turn your work, and you're going to work your 3 trebles into the very first chain that you created. So not that double crochet down there, up here into this chain. It's a bit difficult to start off with, but once you get into the swing of this one, as long as you remember not to go into that bottom one, then the pattern will repeat beautifully. So I've done my 3. I'm going to skip that double. I'm going to skip my 3 trebles, found my chain space. I'm going to anchor it down with a double crochet. Oops, split my thread. Chain 3. 3 trebles into that chain 3 space of the previous round. Skip the double, skip the 3 trebles, find the chain 3 space, double crochet into that one, chain 3, 3 trebles. And you work exactly the same all the way along, and as you can see now, it squares off the end. They're not completely straight on this pattern. It's not a straight edge pattern, but I think it looks quite pretty. If you were making a scarf or blanket, it's quite pretty because you get the repeat. So you've got the back of the stitches and then the front of the stitches, so it forms this sort of knobbly effect. And you're going to work all the way along, skipping these stitches here. So you double crochet, your 3 trebles, find that chain 3 space, and you double crochet into that one, chain 3, 3 trebles, skip all the others, go straight into the next chain 3 space, double crochet, chain 3, 3 trebles, all the way along. When you get to your last one, get that last chain 4 space at the end, do a double crochet in it, chain 4, and work your first 3 trebles into the first chain of that chain 4. And that is basically it. That's the tulip stitch. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for watching.